A very lovely good evening to all of you. I am Dr. Pooja, and it's been really long time when I recorded my video. So today, again, I am, recording a video. I've chosen a very interesting topic of biochemistry, that is nutritional biochemistry, right? So let's start up with the recording of this video. This will be obviously, this is a very important topic, nutritional biochemistry. All of you know that always like whether you talk about PG exam, whether you talk about UG exam, there are certain questions which have been asked on nutritional biochemistry. Nutrition plays actually a very important role. Whether we have to, how much amount of carbohydrate we have to take, how much amount of protein we have to take, how much amount of fat we take in our diet. That is why you must have heard a balanced diet is very important. A slight change in any of the components which we are taking in our diet can lead to different disorders also. So I have made just 10 to 15 slides, and a very good news for all my subscribers who've been liking my channel, who've been supporting me with all their beautiful comments. I must say I have joined Unacademy also. So if you guys want to know more, I will be giving you the link in my slides, so you can always refer to my videos there also. And in any case, YouTube channel is always there. Because I started this channel, basically I started with my YouTube channel only when the lockdown just started. So since I have started with this, I am going to cling to my YouTube channel till the time I am recording something. But still, if anybody is interested to go into, certain other topics related to that, so you guys can follow me on Unacademy also, right? So let's start up with the discussion. Now, nutritional biochemistry I'm going to take, and this is my link on Unacademy. So you guys can follow me here, and obviously just now I told you that YouTube, since this is my own channel, so obviously I'll be working hard for it. So nutrition plays a very important role in our lives. So basically there are certain parameters by which we can actually assess the amount of nutrition which we are taking in our diet. So the most important component of this is BMR. You must have heard, this is a very common saying, iska BMR high hai, iska BMR low hai. So what do you mean by this basal metabolic rate? Metabolic is the metabolism which is occurring in our body. Because just now I told you, whether we take carbohydrates in our diet, whether we take fats in our diet, or we take proteins in our diet, these are the three major components which we are taking, along with vitamins and minerals, obviously, which are acting as supplements. So what happens is, these carbohydrates, there has to be a RDA for recommended dietary allowance for all the metabolites. And they have a proper metabolic rate, metabolism, that they are converted into acetyl coenzyme A. This acetyl coenzyme A undergoes degradation by TCA cycle, giving out energy at every step by electron transport chain and leading to synthesis of ATP. So this is, in summary, what do you mean by the metabolism which is occurring in our body. And the water which is actually produced in the end, it is nothing but it is the metabolic water. Metabolic water. So how do we define this basal metabolic rate? See, it is the minimum amount of energy required by the body to maintain at complete physical and mental rest in the post-absorptive state. This is very important. Post-absorptive means after having a meal. Ab basal mane bilkul basic, means although the body appears to be at rest, means body is at complete rest, but other functions like nerve conduction is there, mobility of GIT, ion transport, everything, working of heart, everything will be normal. Only the body will be at complete rest without any stress. This is very important, right? Then how do we measure BMR? There are different apparatus for the measurement of BMR. The most common apparatus to measure are the Benedict's and Roth's, along with Douglas bag method. Every method has its own merits, every method has its own demerits. But as such, no question has been asked, so I'm not going to take these methods in detail. But yes, you should understand by the term what is basal metabolic rate and what are the prerequisites for that. The most important prerequisite is the subject should be awake at complete, just now I told you, physical and mental stress. He should be away from any mental stress. And in post-absorptive state, this is again very important. And just now I told you, patient should not have taken anything by mouth or orally for the past 12 hours and in a comfortable surrounding, devoid of any stress. Then only metabolic rate, or basal metabolic rate can be effectively calculated. Right. Now, obviously, what are the normal values of BMR? You can see for an adult man, it is this or 1600 calories in 24 hours or in a day. And for women, it is 1400 calories a day. And if you talk about a normal BMR value, so it should be between minus 15% and plus 20%. It is considered to be a normal BMR. Now the question arises, everything floats around this BMR only. So what are the factors which can affect this BMR? Different factors are there. Just say if we talk about the surface area, it is directly proportional to the surface area. More the surface area, more will be the BMR. And in general, we say men have marginally higher BMR, right? And if we talk about age, in infants and growing children, obviously BMR would be higher. But जैसे जैसे the child moves towards adult, automatically BMR starts decreasing at the rate of 2% per decade of life. If we talk about physical activity, obviously we need to exercise more, because we are increasing our BMR. This is very, very important. So physical activity increases with regular exercise. If we talk about the hormonal level, so obviously, thyroid hormone, thyroxine and all, they are increasing the basal metabolic rate. Similarly, if we talk about catecholamines, we are talking about sex hormones, they are also increasing the rate. So these are the factors. Then again, a very important factor is environment. Very, very important. So if we see, if the people, they are living in cold climates or at, you can say in hills, let's put it that way, because there the temperature is cold. So BMR would be higher in cold climates compared to warm climates. And obviously a person living in cold climates also, they have a better rate of adaptation, even though they are polycythemic also. Because there, if we talk about that, the rate of oxygen is, concentration of oxygen is lesser when we talk about the persons who are inhabiting high altitudes, but still BMR is higher. And they are considered to be the more fit individuals than the one which are living in the plains. Then if we talk about starvation, obviously during starvation, there will be decrease in BMR. If we talk about fever, fever always increases BMR. And if we see the rate, 10% increase for every 1 degree rise in body temperature. And obviously, if we talk about certain diseases, just say leukemia, infections, hypertension, BMR automatically is increased. So these are the important factors which are affecting our basal metabolic rate. Then the question arises, what is the significance of BMR? Obviously, there has to be a significance also. So basically, it's in the starting of the lecture only, I told you that BMR is actually calculating the caloric requirement of a particular individual. So that if we calculate the BMR of a particular person, we can actually, give a diet plan. That is why calculation of BMR is a very, very important aspect of nutritional biochemistry. And that is what diet and nutrition, because whatever diet plan we have to, whether he has to switch to carbohydrate diet, whether he has to switch to keto diet, there are so many diets which are coming up nowadays, Atkins diet. So accordingly, one can plan. And that is the actually function, duty of a nutritionist to find the BMR and suggest a diet plan. And then obviously assessment of thyroid function is very, very important. And BMR, just now I told you, it is below in starvation. And the ones who are malnourished and the ones suffering from the Addison's disease. It is but obvious, it would be, below that normal range. But in fever, in diabetes insipidus, it increases. So significance, you can say calculation of BMR is very, very important, right? Then we come over to another very, very important aspect, which is a respiratory question. Respiratory question, it is a very important topic, examination point of view se bhi, and in general also. How do we define it? It is simple, it is written also, volume of carbon dioxide evolved over volume of oxygen absorbed. So RQ is actually different for carbohydrates, different for proteins, because the rate of digestion, the rate of breakdown of carbohydrates, proteins and fats is more or less different. Its value can be 1, as in carbohydrates. It can be 0, it can be more than 1 or less than 1, as in case of organic acids, or you can say fats or proteins. And how do we define the respiratory question? It is volume of carbon dioxide evolved to that of volume of oxygen absorbed. Now let's see the different values. If we talk about carbohydrates, carbohydrates have 1 RQ, because you can see the equation, 6 carbon dioxide over 6 oxygen will give out 1. If we talk about fats, it is less than 1, 0.7. If you round off it, because in our body mostly fats or fatty acids are present in the form of palmitoyl esters. Palmitic acid is having 16 carbon atoms, so 16 by 23 it comes out to be this. Then we come over to proteins. Proteins mein most common are albumins are there, then globulins are there, then different, because these are the simple proteins. So if we calculate it, it comes out to be 0.8. The question is generally asked about these. What is the different RQ for different substrates? Then, if we talk about mixed diet, it is 0.85. If alcohol, 0.66. But if we switch over to a carbohydrate-rich diet, remember this is a very important question. Whenever we stick to carbohydrate-rich diet, RQ will be more than 1. Because there is a very important thing, carbohydrates can be converted into fats, but fats cannot be converted to carbohydrates. Very, very important. Converted to carbohydrates. Because you see, carbohydrate can be converted into acetyl coenzyme easily. As you saw in glycolysis, pyruvic acid is converted, but this acetyl coenzyme cannot be converted to carbohydrates. So if we take a carbohydrate rich diet, RQ is more than 1. Fasting or starvation may obviously RQ will decrease. Exercise leads to lactic acidosis, where RQ will increase. So these are some of the important aspects of RQ which are actually asked in the exam. So this is, little bit about nutritional biochemistry, and next video I'll be again, recording my next video, sharing with you more and more details of nutritional biochemistry, in which I will be discussing little bit about the RDAs, recommended dietary allowance, how much one has to take carbohydrate, fats or proteins. So this is just a basic understanding for you guys, that you should know what do you mean by BMR and what do you know by a respiratory question. So this is all in my today's video. I hope you guys, like whatever content I am presenting in my videos. So subscribe to my channel, and if somebody is interested in, joining Unacademy also, you can join me on that platform also. Even Unacademy is a very good platform. It's a kind of live platform where we can directly interact with the students. So obviously it is a, better mode than this mode. And obviously, if you are liking my channel, subscribe to it. I will be sharing more and more videos in my YouTube channel also. So bye for now. Good night, all of you, and take care.